The morning sun blazed golden over Westfield City Zoo, painting long, warm stripes across the sand-covered floor of the desert habitat enclosure. Visitors had not yet arrived, and the zoo was still drowsy, filled only with the sleepy chirping of sparrows and the distant splashing of the sea lions in their pool. It was, by all measures, a perfect morning, quiet, calm, and full of possibility. In the far corner of the desert habitat, a young camel named Bella stretched her long neck and blinked her enormous eyes. She was only 18 months old, still gangly and curious, her sandy brown coat gleaming in the early light. Beside her stood her mother, Clara, a tall and graceful camel who carried herself with quiet dignity and the patience that only mothers truly know. Bella tilted her head and stared at her own reflection in the shallow water trough near the fence. She studied the shape of her body the way children study math problems, slowly, seriously, with growing frustration. Her round, padded hooves, her long, sweeping eyelashes, the two large humps sitting on her back like misplaced furniture. Everything about her seemed strange and curious, and this morning, Bella had decided she was going to get answers. "Mom," Bella began, her voice soft but determined. "Why do we have humps on our backs? They seem so heavy and awkward. None of the other animals here have them. The zebras don't have them. The giraffes don't have them. Even the horses in the petting zoo nearby don't have them. Why do we?" Clara smiled the way she always did when Bella asked one of her big questions. She lowered her head gently and nuzzled her daughter before responding. "Those humps are one of our greatest gifts, my darling," she said warmly. "They store fat, which our bodies can convert into energy and water when food and drink are scarce. In a dry, burning desert, where water holes can disappear for weeks and food is rare, our humps keep us alive and strong, while other animals would struggle or perish." Bella considered this carefully and nodded. It did sound impressive. Still, she was not finished. She lifted one of her round, flat hooves and turned it in the light. "And our hooves?" she asked. "They look so thick and wide compared to the hooves of horses or donkeys. Why are ours shaped so differently? They feel almost like big, cushioned platforms." "Exactly right," Clara replied proudly. "Our hooves are specially shaped to walk across loose, deep desert sand without sinking or stumbling. The wide surface spreads our weight so we glide smoothly over the sand, the way a snowshoe helps a person walk on snow without falling through. A thin, narrow hoof would sink and make walking across the desert exhausting and slow. Our hooves make us fast and efficient where the ground is soft and shifting." "Oh," said Bella softly. She was beginning to feel a little more appreciation for her unusual body, but there was still one more thing she had been wondering about. She blinked her long, dramatic eyelashes, the ones that the visiting school children always giggled and pointed at through the fence. "What about my eyelashes, Mom? They are so long. The other animals tease me about them sometimes. Thomas the tiger said they make me look ridiculous." Clara gave a gentle, knowing laugh. "Pay no attention to Thomas. He has never seen a sandstorm. Those beautiful long lashes are your armor," she said. "In the desert, fierce sandstorms sweep across the land without warning, hurling millions of tiny particles of sand into the air. Those lashes act as a curtain, a protective shield that keeps the sand from scratching or blinding your eyes. Without them, a sandstorm could leave you unable to see, lost and helpless. Your lashes are not ridiculous, Bella. They are extraordinary." Bella stood quietly for a long moment, turning all of this over in her mind. Humps that stored survival, hooves that conquered shifting sand, lashes that shielded against storms. She realized, a creature designed with extraordinary precision and purpose, built piece by piece to thrive in one of the harshest environments on the planet. She felt a deep swelling of pride. But then something shifted inside her. A thought rose slowly, like a bubble rising through still water, and when it reached the surface, it stopped her cold. She looked around the enclosure, at the smooth concrete walls, the artificial sand floor, the painted sky mural behind the feeding station, and the small plaque on the fence that read, "Bactrian Camel, Native Habitat, Central Asian Deserts." She turned to her mother with wide, troubled eyes. "Mom," she said quietly, the pride now edged with something heavier, "if our humps are for surviving the desert, and our hooves are for walking on desert sand, and our eyelashes are for desert sandstorms, then why are we here? We are in a zoo. There is no desert here. There is no scorching heat, no disappearing water holes, no sand that stretches for miles in every direction. We have none of the things our bodies were built for." Clara was silent, not because she lacked love or warmth, but because her daughter had asked the one question for which there was no comfortable answer. She looked around the enclosure herself, at the water trough that was always full, the fresh hay delivered each morning, the cool, misting fans that clicked on during summer afternoons. Everything was provided. Everything was safe. And yet, "You are right," Clara said at last, her voice low and honest. "We have all the tools of survivors, but we are not being asked to survive. We have the strength of the wild, but we are standing in a garden. Our gifts are real and powerful, but they are not being used for what they were meant for." Bella pressed close to her mother and said nothing more. But the question stayed with her all day, floating quietly in the back of her mind as the school children arrived and pointed and laughed at her eyelashes and her humps. Some gifts, she understood now, are extraordinary, but only in the right place. A magnificent tool is useless in the wrong hands. A powerful skill is invisible in the wrong world. Strength, resilience, and purpose must meet the right environment to mean anything at all. Without that match, even the most remarkable abilities can spend a lifetime standing behind glass, waiting to be what they were always meant to become. Your strengths and skills are of no use in the wrong place. The most extraordinary talent, placed in the wrong environment, becomes invisible. Find the desert you were built for.